Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye. All right, all right. Welcome back to Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, so we are looking at the stock market. I want to talk about it because watching the 10-year yield keeps rising, right? And so we don't want that, right? So the 10-year yield keeps rising. We don't want the 10-year yield to keep rising. That's bad, right? The dollar plunged today, but the 10-year yield keeps rising. So where's all this money going? If it's not going into the dollar or the bond market, where's this money going, right? And so it's going into the gold and the commodity. That's where it's going. It's going into oil. Oil was up today. Gold was up today. And does that say cryptocurrencies? What is this? Crypto. Oh, okay. So you got cryptos there. All right. So did we go into crypto? You see the Dow was down today 300. Dow was down way more than that earlier. I mean, Dow was down. Look how far down we were down in the Dow. I mean, this thing was in the 37,760. So this thing was down a lot more. Wow. I mean, this thing was down 600, 700 points. You know what I mean? The Dow Jones was down 700 points today, right? So until we started to recover some of this, right? And then you got the S&P 500. It was down early, right? It actually broke 5,000 there on the S&P 500 before it recovered. Did it twice. And before it recovered here, but now it's still down 0.6, 46 on the day. Dow was down almost 1%, and then the Nasdaq was down. Let's see, Nasdaq fell in the beginning and then recovered the rest of the day. Nasdaq fell to that 16.3, so Nasdaq was down. Um, let's see, about almost 300 points there, or a little bit more than 300 points there. All right, so and then we recovered back. We still were on the negative side of 0.64. VIX was down big today, 3% at 3 point. Wow, look at that! Look at the VIX at the end there. So VIX is down 3.76 there, and then of course gold was up and silver was up. So, but big money didn't come into gold. I mean, gold was only up 0.08%. So, big money didn't come into gold. Big money didn't come into oil. Oil's not even back to $100 yet, right? So where's all the money going? If it's not going into the dollar, because the dollar people, well, it did go back in the dollar here. You see, the dollar actually went positive here and then pulled back, right? So where's all the money going? Is it silver? When we don't have silver on here, is it silver? Is it something else? Where is all the money going? If it's coming out of the dollar and the bond and it's coming out of the bond market, and so here's a 10-year yield we need to be watching very closely here because it keeps rising, right? So the 10-year yield keeps rising here, and maybe the money did go into silver. I haven't checked silver. Maybe we should check silver prices here. And maybe I should bring up a chart on silver. Let me bring up the chart of silver real quick, and then we'll come back to the 10-year yield. All right, so we put the chart up on silver, and you can see that silver futures here, and today's silver is up 0.42%, so $27.75. We need to be watching silver closely because if it can break that massive $30 resistance here, then we know that something bad is happening, right? So that means the bond market is indeed imploding and markets are crashing, right? So, and that is a real scenario that could happen here, right? And so we talked about it early in the year, early in the month, and I said, guys and girls, I've been saying that they're going to hold this off in an election year until next year. And I said, but then I was like, a couple weeks ago, I told you guys things are about to change. You know what I mean? Like life is about to change forever, and we need to take that in because think like everything is changing. All the plans of the elites are changing right before our eyes. Biden is making up stuff as he talks, and he's getting worse, right? His health is getting worse. We can all see it. And he said 4 more years, pause, because he knows that he's done, right? So he said 4 more years, pause. We're not getting 4 more years, right? He's out. He's telling you he's out of there, and then he wants to raise taxes to record highs before he leaves. He this tells you that he's leaving, right? So he's making it clear that he's not winning, right? So he's making that very clear. He's making it very clear that he's not winning, and so we need to take him as his word, right? As we see more and more signs, and we're going to see more and more signs in the coming weeks of Biden telling you he's not winning and that he's actually getting out. They're actually going to pull him. You know what I mean? So this is what we're going to be seeing, and we're seeing it in the speeches. We're seeing it in his health. We're seeing everything deteriorate around him. And so, same thing with the SEC. We're seeing the SEC people flee. The lawyers are fleeing. Everybody's going to be leaving. And Gary Gensler's time is running short as well, right? So, all these things are happening right before our eyes. And silver, I've been telling people for years, silver, 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 robotic era is coming, digital era is coming. You gotta have silver. You gotta have physical silver. This is gonna be the one of the best assets going forward. I have it named as the best asset of this decade. Once we go into the digital system and the robotic era, we're in the AI era. All these things are not fully developed yet, but when they are here in a couple of years, silver, 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 silver will be needed for everything, right? So this is going to be one of the best. And we think that they're also going to implement it into the new financial system as well, right? So we got to watch this $30 level because once silver breaks there, man, it's gonna go and they're gonna try to slam it back down. And it's gonna go. They're gonna try to slam it back down. Every time they try to slam it back down, it's gonna keep going higher. And we could see silver $100 to $300. If they can't stop this bond market is awful right now, and all eyes should be on this bond market. Look at the last 5 days, right? So I mean, it's just going to the upside, man. So last look at this. The bond market is going straight to the upside. They're not able to control this bond market. It's going to implode, right? And the most one is the 10-year yield, right? There's other bond markets, of course, 30-year yield, 20 years, and all the other 5 years, 1 year, whatever. But this is the most important one, the 10-year yield. And the higher and when this thing starts to break higher and higher, it's going to implode, right? So we have to watch. We have to be watching the 10-year yield very closely here, and I told you guys this could be the month. If they don't come and say that now the thing something is interesting because the ECB tried to save the markets 2 days ago, right? And said multiple rate cuts are coming. And then all of a sudden, within 48 hours, the Fed people, not the Fed chair, but the Fed people, the other people in the Fed said, we here in America are not going to cut rates in May. We're not cutting rates in June anymore, and we'll update in July, right? And to see what we do, but don't expect anything in May and June, right? And we might not even cut rates at all. Like is this coming from that the Feds are trying to do this? Well, they're trying to crash everything. That's what they're trying to do, right? Um, and so they want people to not know what's coming, right? So you have one side saying rate cuts are coming in June. The ECB will cut rates in June, and they're going to cut multiple times, maybe even 3 times this year, as promised. The Fed said they're going to cut 3 times this year. It might be October, November, and December, right? After they plunge everything, right? After everything plunges, maybe they'll come back and save us. So, but I don't know. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this plays out. Why is America not agreeing to go ahead and cut rates in June, July, and August, or June, and then skip a month, maybe 2 months, and then cut again, and skip 2 months, cut again? Why are they coming off of what they were planning to do, right? Why are they doing this, right? And that's because they want more pain in the markets. They want people to suffer, right? They are our enemies, right? And that's point blank and simple. And so when they saw that ECB said multiple rate cuts are coming, they quickly went around and said, "We're not doing that. We're not cutting anything in May. Don't even think about May or June anymore. We'll reset everything. We'll recess everything in July." They did that on purpose because they saw the markets turning around and going up. Stock market started to go up, soaring to the upside. Bitcoin soaring to the upside, and they said, "Stop it, stop it, stop it." Say no rate cuts. No rate cuts are coming anytime soon. Right? If the markets don't get the rate cuts, and remember I told you guys a couple of days ago on Patreon and here, I think I told you guys on here too, but I definitely said on Patreon, don't be surprised if we get a rate hike in June. Like that would be the stupidest thing, right? But don't be surprised if we get it. I said it yesterday. I said it yesterday or 2 days ago. I said don't be surprised because inflation is still a problem. I told y'all last year inflation would be a problem the first half of the year, and it's rising fast, right? So we got the inflation report came out today. It's bad again. It's rising faster than expectation, right? So the energy sector is booming. Oil's going up. Inflation is going to keep rising and rising. Don't be surprised if the Fed actually raise rates in June. That would be awful for stocks and cryptos in the bond market, right? And that would be bullish dollar, right? So the dollar would absolutely soar in June. This is why I said let's cut June off and let's just focus on May as a wealth transfer month, right? May, the month of prosperity, and then June it could be June and July could be really bad now, right? So they're trying to not make 3 months wealth transfer months, right? And wealthy months. So they're just like, no, we're gonna go with their June that these guys have been saying online June, but we might actually do a rate hike in June and just mess the markets up, right? So so we'll see how this thing plays out, folks. But yeah, we don't know anymore, man. Because they keep changing things. And the reason why they keep changing things is because people like me and others are right on the money, and they're getting pissed off that we're so we're putting out the correct information, and not just me. There's other people that's like I'm gonna guess about the 50 people that know exactly what's going on in the markets, and they're putting out the right information daily, and it's pissing them off. It's pissing the feds off. It's pissing the SEC off that people know this information that they're what they're going to do, and they don't want to do it anymore. So now they're constantly changing what they're doing, right? They're constantly changing stuff because of the what we're putting out and giving people the correct information. So now they're like, man, no, we're not going to do it because these guys are saying it. And so that's what's going on now. In my humble opinion, they're starting to change a lot of things because of what people on YouTube and TikTok and social media platforms are saying, which is the dumbest thing ever, and it should never happen that way. But they are actually doing that. This is why they have no clue what they're doing anymore. They're flip flopping up and down because they want everyone confused, and then they want us to look like we're wrong, right? But we were right the whole time. They were going to cut rates in June, right? And the ECB is like, we're cutting rates in June like we were supposed to. I don't know what they're doing in America. They want to crash everything apparently. So this is what's happening, folks. We don't know what's going on anymore because they keep flip flopping everything that they're doing. So make sure you're protecting yourself with hard assets, gold and silver. Make sure you have your reset currencies. Make sure you become your own central bank, like Greg says, and everybody else talks about. Make sure you have all your assets and everything ready to go, because this is gonna get crazy if they hint at a rate hike in June, you would better expect the 10-year yield to skyrocket and gold and silver to skyrocket. The dollar to skyrocket. Well, gold and silver might not skyrocket. It might actually crash. Who knows, right? So we don't know. We don't know where money's going to go. If the bond market implodes, then then money will go into commodities, right? So maybe so we'll see if the dollar actually implodes with the bond market, right? Because the dollar should go up with a rate hike, but you never know when the bond market is imploding here. So we'll see how this plays out with the bond market and the rate and the Feds and stuff. They're really trying to stop Bitcoin from 100,000. But they hate for some reason they hate Bitcoin and cryptos, and I believe it's because the normal people can get in there and make a lot of money, and they just cannot stand that. So um let's watch this closely, folks. The bond market is heading higher. The 10-year yield's heading higher. This is not good. That they're not able to control the 10-year yield and the bond market right now, and it's going to implode, folks. And if they don't do nothing soon, this thing is going to implode, right? And so we need to be watching this closely. Silver's going to break $30 here soon if the bond market doesn't. If they can't control the bond market, and I don't even know if they want to control the bond market. I really believe a couple of days ago I said I really believe that the Fed are actually and the SEC, not the SEC. Who cares about the SEC? The Fed, the Federal Reserve, is sitting back saying, you know what? We've changed our mind. Let's actually see this 10% of the bond market implode. Let's actually see it. I want to see what it looks like on planet Earth when this happens, and then we'll step in. But this is an election year, so you know. But the thing about it is that Biden's already telling them with signals that he's not winning. Biden's already signaling that he's not winning, so go ahead and implode everything, right? And so maybe that's what's happening. Biden is showing signs that he's not winning, and it's over, right? And so I'm going to raise taxes. I'm going to destroy the middle class before I leave. We're not going to save the bond market. We're going to let it implode by 10%. We're going to raise taxes. We're just going to annihilate the American people before I leave because I'm not winning. That's what it seems like is happening. So we talked about how the markets are gonna next year is the year that the markets crash, right? Even if Trump's in there, the markets will soar with Trump in there, and then it will hit the top. We'll hit the top of the peak of the bull cycle, and then either in 2025, 2026, one of those 2 months, and then we will see a massive crash, right? And then we will see, and then we will head into the new digital system most likely, right? That's what that's the plan, right? But who says that that's going to be the plan? If Biden is telling them that he's not winning and to crash everything now, then that's what we're going to see, right? And so we're not expecting a crash until next year. But if Biden's telling people he ain't winning, go ahead and crash everything now. Then they're not going to save the 10-year. And we're going to keep watching it spike and spike and spike. So here's a 10-year yield. You need to be Google searching this every day, put it in your thing, and watch it. If this thing continues to spike out of control, then you expect expect the markets to crash, right? Expect the markets to crash. Expect the dollar could crash with it, and money's gonna move into gold and silver and hopefully cryptocurrencies. And this will be Cliff High's data sets where a panic to own cryptocurrencies and commodities, right? So we have to watch this very carefully because I've been telling you guys, uh, we're gonna have. I mean, we are on the cuffs of a break in the system in a new world, right? And life will never be the same. And if they let this bond market go just 10%, you're gonna see exactly what I was talking about, right? And it ain't gonna be pretty at all, right? And so we're gonna be blessed. We will be blessed in the chaos, but we still gonna be in the chaos. But we will be blessed in the chaos. So you know what I mean. So we will be blessed in the chaos because we are in the right places. We have cryptos, we have gold, we have silver, we have our assets, right? We have the reset currencies. Things will reset, right? And so we'll see currency resets. We'll see all these things. If they allow that bond market to go down and implode by 10%, we will be living in a new world, right? And it's going to be devastating, but it's also going to be an exciting time for the people of God. We are going to rise to the top. We are going to be part of the new 1%. And they will release XRP. XRP will be released as well and be set free. So XRP Army will be part of the new 1% as well. And hopefully you have the right, you have all the stuff that you need just in case this does happen. Okay. And if it happens, folks, it's going to happen right now. It's going to happen right now. It's going to happen right now. Right? So watch out. Because if they're going to do this, it's going to happen right now. Oh, man. This is going to be epic. It's going to happen right now. So let's watch it carefully. And look at this, man. The bond market is out of control. And look, a month ago it was they tried it. Well, that wasn't a month. 6 months ago they had it under control. Now all of a sudden, it's spiking and spiking. I expect silver to break $30 here if they can't control the bond market. And if they can't control the bond market and they don't save it, folks, we are looking at a new world very quickly. Okay, so let's watch this bond market, folks. This is your life right here, right? So nothing, the bond market comes before the stock market. Everybody looks at the stock market, but the bond market comes first. This is the most important thing right now, right? So who cares about the stock market? You know what I mean? I'm only in Zyno and gas. I got I got AMC. I got AMC. You know what I mean? Like I got AMC divvy that paid out, and I got Zyno and gas. I'm not in the stock market yet. We can trade it on Patreon up and down. We can get Amazon and all these things and trade it, right? And Tesla trades and stuff, but long term hold, I'm only in basically Zyno and gas, and I got one share AMC. You know what I mean? And now I do plan on going into AMC, but like around 10 cents, they crashed the markets. I told Patreon that AMC 10 cents, I'm in, right? I'm in. I'll be in, and we'll short squeeze it to 500 to $5,000, right? So, um, but this is what we need to be watching right here, folks, right here, right now. You need to be paying attention to the bond market. This is literally your life right here. I mean, so we need to be paying attention to the bond. I can't stress it enough that if this does not get under control, life is going to change drastically. And you don't want, that's what I'm going to say. You'll see it for yourself. I don't need to even say anything else. Because some of y'all don't even believe me. Okay, let this thing keep going up. Let the bond market get out of control here and keep spiking up. And you'll see, and you'll be like, damn, I should have listened to currency. I should have listened to currency. I'm not prepared. You don't want to be part of the 99% that's starving and begging for food, folks. You better have your gold and silver and your cryptocurrencies and your reset currencies. I'm not joking. You know what I mean? So you better be ready because it's going to implode here. All signs are implosion, 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 implosion. Uh-oh, right? So be ready. The bond market is about to implode. That's what I'm going to say. They're not saving it for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they'll come out tomorrow after this video and say, we got you guys. We will cut rates in June, and then they'll save it. And they have to say something like that. But I have a feeling that they might actually come out and say, there's a possibility we might actually raise rates in June. And then with that, we already know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? The dollar's going to spike, the bond market is going to spike, and then the stock market is going to absolutely crater with cryptocurrencies. All right, so we'll see what they do. We'll see what they say. They must come out this week. Tomorrow's Friday. They have to say something tomorrow, right? So enjoy the NFL draft tonight, guys and girls. I know it's coming on, but man, watch this market, man. I can't believe they're allowing this thing to implode. Cliff High's data set said they're gonna they it would implode 10%. and then they would come in and save it before it's too late, right? Um, and then they would ask Reggie Milton for help for the economics. Silver would be part of the new financial system. XRP would be released, and as things are crashing, and of course currency resets and things will be happening. So we'll see how it all plays out, folks. This is You don't need to watch stock market. Just watch this right here. The 10-year yield. Just watch it. If it continues to go up, we're in big trouble. All right, peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys. And then we're not in trouble. I gotta let me reframe that. We're not in trouble. We have everything that we need. You know, the world is. The world will be in trouble, not us. We're gonna be the new 1%. you know, so we're gonna be in a new world, and we're gonna be the ones on top of the world instead of the godly people at the bottom, because most godly people are at the bottom for some reason, and we should be at the top. So we're gonna be the ones at the top now, and that's where we're supposed to be, right? So peace out, God bless. Watch a 10-year yield, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.